City Pulse is sponsored by CN Vision Image Consulting, Chi, an international focus magazine.
Hi, I'm Mariana Oyanguren, and you're watching City Pulse, a show for the city of Houston by the city of Houston, featuring stories about council leaders and their districts, city departments, and sponsored attractions around town. On today's episode, Houston Fire Chief Sam Pena talks to us about fire cadets and the training process. We'll share some back-to-school safety tips for parents and students. And finally, we have a story about an art exhibit with family ties. But first, Senator John Cornyn recently honored 4 Houston FBI agents with a law enforcement congressional badge of bravery for their actions during Hurricane Harvey.
On August 26, Hurricane Harvey, a Category 4 storm, made landfall and stalled over the Texas Gulf Coast. This storm would eventually drop nearly 50 inches of rain over the Houston metropolitan area, areas along the Gulf Coast of Texas, and even areas inland. The storm would cause millions and millions of dollars worth of damage. It would destroy homes. It would destroy churches, synagogues, schools, community centers, the places that we hold dear.
Special Agents David Coe, Jack Walker, Michael Walker, and Justin Widup went above and beyond the call, if we can ever call an FBI agent's typical. They went above and beyond the typical call to help rescue more than 150 Houstonians during Harvey's peak.
HPD called the FBI SWAT team for help. The agents had to make more than one attempt to get to the substation, but once they got to the HPD officers, they didn't stop there. At an apartment complex down the street, the agents rescued people from atop their cars. They put their own lives to danger to save the lives of others and go over and above the call of duty. So I will just say that these agents are our heroes, and they are the kind of people who are prime examples of what we call Houston Strong.
A ribbon cutting was held at the Herbert G. Municipal Courthouse in downtown to open new courtrooms for business. Flooding from Harvey wiped out the entire basement here. Houstonians are more likely to visit this courthouse than any other. As a result, the Houston Municipal Court System handled around 1 million cases over the last 2 years. The opening of these new courts will ease overcrowded conditions. Now that summer is over and the kids are returning to school, the Houston Fire Department and Crime Stoppers offer safety tips for drivers, texters, and the number one item to have in your home.
We've all gathered here today to take this opportunity to remind the community about some important safety tips.
For drivers, of course, we want them to pay attention to the school zone speed limits and stay off the phone while they're going through the school zone. Also be mindful of young people, students that may be darting in between cars, not at the crosswalk. If they approach a bus that has the red lights blinking with the stop sign protruded, that's their indication that they have to stop. Whether they be behind the bus or whether they be on the roadway approaching the bus, they must stop. The only exception to that rule or the law is if there's a wall or some type of barrier such as an esplanade. Failure to stop would result in a very heavy fine starting at $500. Subsequent violations would be starting at $1,000 per violation.
Talk to your kids about terroristic threats. They can be held criminally liable for posting any terroristic threats against a school or a school campus or the students of the school. The fact that it is a joke is never okay. It's a crime just to post. Monitor your kids' social media. Look at what they're talking about, who they're, comments they're making. Notice changes in behavior.
This is our go-to. It's the first tip we always give, and that's making sure that you have a working smoke detector in your home. We advise that you have a smoke alarm on every level of your home, inside every bedroom, and outside in the hallways outside of every bedroom. You want to make sure that you test those smoke alarms once a month and make sure they're less than 10 years old. 10 years is the lifespan of most smoke detectors. If you do not have working smoke detectors in your home, you can call the Houston Fire Department. We'll send out firefighters, they'll come and they'll install these smoke alarms in your home at no charge.
From fire safety tips to the fire chief, next on City Pulse, we welcome Sam Pena to the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Vets, you served our country, and now you're home looking for a job. But how often have you applied and never heard back? That can be frustrating. That's why Edge for Vets was created, to open the world for you. The Houston Airport System and its business partners are hiring and offer this unique opportunity to get an edge in the interview process. To find out more, contact us at edgeforvets.org.
Whether you need a hand shopping for groceries, using up scraps, or finishing every bite, Meal Prep Mate can help you plan better and save more. Whether you're a newbie getting your first taste, a meal prepper honing your chops, or a meal prep pro hungry for a challenge, you can learn how to eat smarter, plan better, and save more at every step of meal prep. When you finish every bite, you save. Start prepping with Meal Prep Mate at SaveTheFood.com.
Thanks for joining us. We are honored to have HFD's top dog with us today. Thanks so much, Chief Pena, for joining us. We are on City Pulse. How are you today?
Good, Mariana. Thank you for having me.
I'm thrilled you're here. For those of you who are interested in becoming a Houston firefighter, what do you have to do? What do they have to do?
Well, first of all, Mayor Turner just approved this week a request for training academy classes, for recruit classes. So we're gearing up to prepare to make the announcement and bring on about 3 classes this year. And in order to become a Houston firefighter, so what we need is you need to be at least 18 years of age. Right, you need to have a clean driving record and a clean history, and you need at least 24 credit hours or 2 years of military service with an honorable discharge.
Okay. So what kind of training do these cadets have to go through? Physically, mentally, classroom?
Right. Well, all of it. Right, and it is very rigorous curriculum. It involves classroom work. It's 9 months of work. That includes classroom work and certification in 2 disciplines, firefighting and EMT. In addition to that, it's a very physically demanding job. So physical fitness is a priority at the training academy and throughout their career. So what we want to do is build that physical fitness mindset in the recruits, because they need to carry that throughout their career.
Okay, well, I've been to one of those, and I don't never think I could be able to do that. Okay, tell us.
Well, we have women. We have a lot of women on the job. We need to recruit more women.
More women.
And certainly, women are just as capable as anybody else to be able to perform this job. So we encourage women to apply to this career. It's a very rewarding career, and certainly, we anybody who has the qualifications, we encourage them to apply. They can go to hfdcareers.org, and they can find all the information there as far as what the requirements are and the application process. And as soon as we're ready to make the announcements of the recruitment, then we'll put that out and make sure that everybody has an opportunity.
Chief Pena, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Coming up next, the Houston Public Library was a little late to the party in celebrating a special birthday. Plus, we take a trip to the Gregory School. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Houston,
where cultures come together,
where inspiration
takes center stage,
and big dreams come true.
It's where fun happens every day.
Houston's a city on the move. It's a city that makes you groove.
That's the heartbeat. That's the rhythm of my town. Of my town.
My town. My town.
Our town.
H-Town.
Houston is a city that inspires. Visit Houston for yourself and find out where the inspiration leads you.
Welcome back. When it comes to art, it's a family affair at the Gregory School's Trace exhibit. as Israel McLeod and daughter Ayana show off their work.
This is essentially an exhibit which is entitled Trace, and it primarily focuses on the archiving, if you will, from a visual perspective of early African American presence in the city of Houston.
My portion of the show is looking at different African American sites around the city, and I'm looking at it through the lens of nature. I'm really interested in thinking about what it means to be in this historic African American space right now, and just look at it through all the different layers.
If I have to say a favorite, I would say the Muhammad Ali piece, Blues for Cassius Clay. I particularly am fond of that piece because it was not only inspiring, but it was also a revelation for me to find out that Brother Muhammad Ali was at one point a resident of the city of Houston.
This is my lineage, this is where I came from. And so for me, I wanted to be in dialogue with my father to kind of also show influence and how I arrived at my body of work. So it's a dialogue, but it's also me paying homage to my father too.
We are nearly out of time, but we wanted to make sure we give a birthday shout out to a famous literary character. In celebration of the boy who lived, the Houston Public Library hosted birthday parties for muggles and wizards to enjoy.
So today is Harry Potter's belated birthday party. We're going to start with making some LED light-up wands. So it's a fun little STEM project for kids, and adults are welcome to come too. We have owls from the Audubon Society.
Who knows if Hedwig was a male or a female?
And we have Quidditch going on outside. We have a photo booth from the Photo photo booth, writing with quills. So a lot of really fun wizard stuff. And then the big event's happening at 6:30. We have Harry and the Potters, our wizard rock band. It's going to be a ton of fun.
We've been waiting for our friends all the way from Hogwarts. The boy who lived, the man who lived, Harry and the Potter. I'm a Harry Potter, yeah. We're a Harry Potter.
So Harry and the Potters actually approached us. So they wanted to tour around and go to a bunch of Texas libraries. So they called us and asked if we were interested, and we said, of course, because they're a great fun band. And then we kind of built the event around it. So we decided to do some more fun wizard activities before the concert started.
We love hanging out with muggles and wizards.
She has very bad breath. Sorry about that.
I think everybody's had a great time. We've seen kids in costume. We've seen a lot of Harry Potters and kids from various houses.
Ravenclaw, are you ready?
It's just been a really great fun event. We saw kids playing Quidditch outside.
A magic beyond any can be taught at Hogwarts. Now I'm talking about the magic of rock and roll.
I don't know if we can get Harry and the Potters again, but we would love to have them back anytime they want to come here. But we're looking at doing some more big Harry Potter parties in the future.
Flipendo!
Oh my god, I'm going to try one more time. It's so hard.
Flipendo!
Wow.
That does it for this episode of City Pulse. I'm Mariano Yanguren. Stay tuned for the Artery Media Project presented by the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs. Until next time, have a great day, and thanks for watching HTV. Your story, your voice, your station.
City Pulse is sponsored by CN Vision Image Consulting. Gee. an international focused magazine.